Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking with you about my minimalist iPhone essentials. I have an iPhone 6. This I bought off of a website called Gazelle. I purposefully downscaled from my iPhone 7 Plus. I really liked it, but I tended to break it all the time. And replacing the screen on that one was much more expensive than downgrading and replacing the screen on this one. And actually, this phone has a better battery life as well. Part of my intention with downscaling on the phone was to have something that was smaller so I'd watch less video, and something that I could maybe not have as much storage space. I purposefully wanted to downscale my internet phone technology addiction about a year and a half ago, and so far it's been going well. You may say, well, if you break your phone screen all the time, why don't you have a case on it? And I've actually come to realize that I break the screen more with a case on it, because a lot of them are not the expensive ones. I like the cheaper kind of cutesy ones, the wallet cases and such. And so if I just get my screen replaced and then have the light layer of the tempered glass thing you put on, it's better for me, and those things can break and you can replace them without having to replace the entire screen. But without further ado, I will disclose to you my tips, techniques, and tricks to avoid being addicted to your phone, and how to downscale if you're looking into it, and how I keep my phone the most minimalist I possibly can in order to curb that addiction. First off, I have a organizational method. I have a black screensaver that is unappealing. It doesn't really trigger my mind with lights and colors to make me want to get on the phone. I keep that as my lock screen and my just basic home screen. I don't keep any apps really on these pages, and then I keep 3 categories at the bottom here on the home screen. So these categories are basically primary, secondary, and I guess tertiary or extras. These are the tertiary are kind of my media and such categories. You know, calling, messages, my Spotify, that's something I use often, my maps, things that I can access quickly while I'm driving. My internet, my banking, notes, which I use often, weather, and my email. I don't have really any notifications set on my phone. I use the badge icon, so if I see something on there, then I'll check it at least once or twice a day, or at most once or twice a day. I've really gotten out of the habit of continuously checking, and I think part of that is because I don't set notifications. Even if somebody's calling me, it's on a high vibrate, and I often turn on my do not disturb so that it doesn't wake the baby, or I'm not given an impulsive note to check my phone. In the secondary category, I have my clock, voice memos, calculator, contact settings, camera, my Upwork profile for my freelance, FaceTime, and photos. And then in the third category, in my media section, I have my YouTube app, my Airbnb app, the applications one, and then my Venmo, which is a recent addition in the last few days, and then the OfferUp app, which I'm using right now to sell a few pieces of furniture around my house. I have a technique for apps that I put on my phone and don't use often or constantly, or I don't want to be using constantly, like Instagram. I get very easily addicted to this app, and I can spend way too much time on my phone when it's on there. So I'll put it on an extra page at the top in my main library area, and this way I can see that it's there, and it kind of makes me actively think I'll have to swipe a page to click it, and then that's the only one there. So I'm telling myself that is temporary. You need to delete it when you're done using it. If you're posting, post and get rid of it. It's way easier, and I don't make as many compulsive scrolling motions and just getting on there for fun in my free time when it's gone from my phone, because it takes so much more effort to download it and put in the passwords and then get it on there. So another trick I have is, like, in the tertiary category, there's some apps on here you can't get rid of, and I don't really like to see those. So in my third or my tertiary category, I have the media ones I listed, and then I added another page with things like wallet or find my iPhone and the health apps, because I don't use these, I don't like these, and I don't want to see them, but you can't delete them, so it's kind of a good way to hide them. Within my apps section for organization, I actually use my phone and use these things as like a to-do list. I've tried not to look at my phone. I'm even considering trying to lessen my addiction of it by potentially going with a flip phone for a short period of time, but we'll see how that goes. I, like many people, really like the maps, especially when I'm at a place that I don't know too well. So there are different reasons that I find it useful, and I'm trying to will myself to fix my addiction with the iPhone before I go sans iPhone. I do try to use and do the bulk of my work on my computer, but since I've had the baby, it's a little bit more difficult to do things on the computer with a scheduled set amount of time. So the phone can make it easier, like with notes, writing things down for story ideas or video ideas and things like that. This has been my minimalist iPhone story and some tips and tricks to avoid phone addiction, which is all too prevalent in our society today. Every time you go anywhere, people look like zombies. My number one tip is to leave your phone at home, and if you can't do that, leave it in the car, leave it in your bag. Fix your notifications so you're not getting that constant dopamine rush every time that you get a message or something occurs on your phone. That's what I do, and it really has started to work for me, but it really has been a slow process, a weaning process, and you have to be conscious of every effort you give, because the technology is working in the antithesis of your mission if you're trying to get off your phone. But thank you guys for watching. My name's Hallie, and I'll see you later. Bye.